Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something pretty significant happening in Cambodia, a major push for more trees, more green spaces, and environmental sustainability overall.
That's right. And we're basing this on a recent article from the Phnom Penh Post, dated May 20th, 2025.
So if you're following environmental news or just curious about how a country tackles big green goals, this is for you.
Definitely. We're hoping to give you some real insight into Cambodia's strategy here, maybe spark a few aha moments about these large-scale efforts.
Exactly. We'll be focusing on, well, the building of what's set to be their biggest tree nursery.
And what that means for the country, the bigger picture.
Okay, so first off, Cambodia isn't just talking the talk here. They're actually building serious infrastructure.
Yeah, that's the key takeaway. By the end of this month, May 2025, their largest ever tree nursery is set to be finished. It's in Kampong Speu province.
And this came from the Environment Minister, Ing Sophaleth.
Yes, he announced it. It was at a groundbreaking for some related infrastructure nearby at Kanang Sar Mountain. This nursery project is substantial.
And the numbers, they sound pretty big. What are we talking about initially?
Initially, right out of the gate, the Kampong Speu nursery is expected to produce over 1 million saplings a year.
1 million. Wow.
But that's just the start. The plan is to double that within the next year, so 2 million from that one site.
2 million from just Kampong Speu.
Okay, but here's where it gets really ambitious. This is actually part of a larger network. They're setting up 5 regional nurseries in total.
5. Okay, so this is a truly nationwide effort then.
Exactly. It paints that picture. Besides Kampong Speu, which is the big one at 20 hectares.
20 hectares.
There's Tibong Kamum at 3 hectares, Siem Reap at 10, Mondul Kiri, also 10 hectares, which makes sense given its ecology, and Kokong at 3 hectares.
Got it. So different sizes, strategically placed.
And the ultimate goal, across all 5 combined, is to eventually produce 10 million saplings every single year.
Yeah.
10 million annually. That's a huge number.
It really is. It shows the level of commitment.
So we see the scale. But let's talk about the why. What's the core motivation driving this massive investment?
Well, Minister Sophaleth put it quite clearly. It's about promoting tree planting everywhere, really boosting Cambodia's greenery.
Making the country greener. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's more than just aesthetics, I assume.
Oh, definitely. He drew a very direct line between green spaces and tangible environmental benefits, specifically cleaner air.
Right, cleaner.
And moving towards carbon neutrality. That's the big ambition.
I think I remember the quote, something like, green spaces mean cleaner air. Clean air equals carbon neutrality.
That's the one.
Yeah.
He explained the basic science, trees absorbing CO2 and methane.
The natural carbon capture.
Exactly, creating that balance. It's fundamental to their climate mitigation strategy. Makes you think about the potential impact.
It really does. And it sounds like they're not just growing saplings and hoping for the best. There's a plan to actively plant them. Yes, and this is interesting. They plan to plant large, already mature trees in towns and provinces. And get this free of charge.
Free? Really?
Yep. Starting with Kampong Speu province as a priority. It shows they really want these trees in the ground and thriving.
That's a serious commitment to follow through, and this ties into a specific campaign.
It does. It's all being driven by a campaign called Ponlork Beitong.
Ponlork Beitong. What does that translate to?
It means banyan tree seedling. A rather nice name, I think. This is essentially the public face, the distribution arm of the whole strategy.
Banyan tree seedling. Okay, so what are the immediate goals for Ponlork Beitong? How are they getting these saplings out there?
For this year, 2025, the target is distributing 3 million free saplings.
3 million? And what kind of trees are we talking about?
It's quite a mix. They're including luxury hardwood timber species, good for ecology and economy, Also fruit trees, which helps with local food and income. And specifically, 1 million sugar palms.
1 million sugar palms. That's very specific. Culturally important, I imagine.
Very much so, yeah. Deep roots in Cambodian culture, lots of uses. So it's a thoughtful selection.
And this isn't the first run for this campaign, is it?
No, that's right. This is the second edition. The first one was back in July 2024.
And how did that go?
Pretty well, it seems. They distributed 1.3 million saplings then, mainly for public spaces, parks, roadsides, and also forest restoration projects.
So they're building on that success, scaling it up significantly now.
Exactly. Learning and expanding. It feels like a sustained effort, not just a one-off thing.
Okay, so scale, motivation, the how with the campaign. How does all this fit into Cambodia's bigger picture, their national plans? Is it siloed as an environmental thing?
No, not at all. It's actually woven quite tightly into their main strategic frameworks. It's listed as the second pillar of the country's environmental sector strategic plan.
The second pillar. Okay, that's high up.
And maybe even more importantly, it lines up directly with phase one of the current government's big plan, the pentagonal strategy.
The pentagonal strategy. Just remind us, what does that represent?
It's basically the government's core roadmap for socioeconomic development. So having this tree planting initiative linked to both the environmental strategy and the main government blueprint.
Means it has serious backing. High priority.
Precisely. It suggests cross-governmental support and sees it as integral to national development, not just an environmental side project.
That context is really helpful. Okay, so looking ahead then. 10 million saplings a year eventually. What's the anticipated long-term impact? What benefits are they hoping for beyond just, well, more trees?
The clearest aim is definitely boosting Cambodia's forest cover significantly. That directly addresses climate change mitigation, helps them meet international goals.
Right, the carbon absorption aspect we talked about.
Exactly, but the minister also highlighted benefits closer to home, greener towns and provinces, a better quality of life.
And maybe education. Getting people involved.
Yes, he mentioned educating the next generation about natural resources, fostering that environmental awareness.
Makes sense. Are there economic angles too?
Potentially, yes. More forests could open doors for Cambodia to participate in carbon credit markets. That could mean new revenue streams.
Ah, interesting carbon credits.
And also, greener landscapes could boost ecotourism, creating sustainable jobs and supporting local economies, especially in designated green tourism zones. It's quite an integrated vision.
So environment, national strategy, community benefits, potential economic upsides. It really covers a lot of bases.
It seems so. It's a long-term investment in their natural capital, connecting environmental health with national prosperity.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Let's wrap up this deep dive into Cambodia's green ambitions.
We've seen this major investment in tree nurseries, especially the huge one coming online in Kampong Spu.
Right, and the Ponlark Betong campaign driving the distribution, aiming for millions of saplings. 3 million this year, 10 million down the line.
And the motivations are layered cleaner air, carbon neutrality, yes, but also fitting squarely into national development plans.
Plus those potential economic benefits from things like carbon credits and greener tourism.
A multi-pronged approach.
So here's something to leave you with. Thinking about this massive nationwide reforestation effort in Cambodia, what could the ripple effects be on, say, regional climate, on biodiversity across Southeast Asia?
That's a big question. And perhaps what lessons could other countries take from Cambodia's approach, their strategy, their commitment?
Definitely something to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.